Okay, my minions, my YouTube minions. Um, they, this okay. This is gonna be a fun one here. Breath of fresh air, if you will. In here. So, whew. Oh, wait. This big secret. Sacred. It had to be sacred. Oh, okay. The okay. This mm, the, uh, the, how's it going, YouTube? And all of the YouTubians out there. I got I this the this is what you might call a YouTube highlight, or the YouTube highlights. There's a secret, a sacred. It's sacred. The, well, believe it or not, there is a big secret. Believe it or not, there is a big secret in YouTube. And on what and on the other hand, I'm just an observer and an over analyzer analyzer of all things. So let's get right into this. YouTubian or YouTube has a pretty has a pretty huge secret about itself, and I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you if a lot of us knew it already, but if a lot of you knew it already, but I'm going to bring it back in front of you. But of course, there could be some new bloods out there that that wouldn't have any idea what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get right into the climax of this video. YouTube is a very it is a it is a very recognized and well respected platform. But as respected as it is, and as wonderful as it is, it also has its little secrets. The secret is that let's go on. The big boogeyman secret here about YouTube is that it's not doing bad. It's not doing bad. It is that it is that it's not doing so good. It's not doing so good. It's not doing so good, and it's not doing so great either. Excuse me from the smell on my head. I gotta wash my hair. Shampoo it as I will. We're running out of the golden age of YouTube, as it were. there's too many. There are too many. There are way too. There are way too many racist and off-color and and everything that YouTube does not stand for. Channels. I I'm not talking cat. I'm not talking about my channel or anything like that. It's just that there's some. It's that there's some really bad banana peel material YouTube channels, and they and I feel that they exist, and they don't exist, and they actually exist, and I feel like they should not exist. You know, like all the racism, like 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 all of the races, dirt infested banana peels for YouTube channels. Well, I mean, if we, like, I mean, those people, like, see, like, for all the people, like, for the people, like, for the people that have subscribed and love and watch those channels, I'm not gonna, I'm sorry, but you gotta, unsubscribe to the to the big greasy banana peel, which is tearing down YouTube. But whatever, like whatever, whatever happened to classic YouTube? Okay, whatever happened to classic YouTube, where everything was clean, and if there was some dirt, it was private. Now we got more sludge and slime in there, and we can't do anything about it. So wait. So can you tell me this? As I took a slurp of this slurp of this coffee here. Well, coffee of some kind of nature. So like all the all of the bad taste in channels that have the most sludge and slime in it, right? And write down pure shit, which passes for YouTube these days, should be deleted out of here. Right? The people that host those things, to bring up that bring up every racist joke in the world, like they over racist everything. They over racist black transgender women. They over racist the beauty. They even over racist the beauty of the beauty of classic YouTube. And I'm trying to think. And I'm trying to thinker. And I'm trying to figure. And I'm trying to. And I'm trying to. And I'm trying to figure out why they're doing that. And I know why they're doing that. They don't want their secret to be let out of the cage. That these are harmful. That these are harmful channels, and they're killing YouTube, classic YouTube as we know it, and as we knew it. How many times have you ran into a channel that you had no intention looking at, let alone subscribing, and so I thought it was the voice of God, but it really wasn't. It it was it was more the voice of it was more the voice of the devil, saying come and watch these channels and trying to get a laugh out of it. Yeah, no, yeah, sure, right. Like 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 as if people didn't know that garbage should stay in the garbage container and not out in public YouTube. You know, there, there's all racist shit. There, there's all kinds of locker room language and shit on shit and it and what good is it doing the soul? And what good is it? Being under that thing. Like the like the two like like I mean like I mean I, I might as well dedicate this to all the people that have if that have I it, if anything I'm dedicating this if anything I'm dedicating this video to all things filth and filthy in YouTube. Like over like overdoing it. We like we like we like if anything, I'm dedicating this video to all things filth and filthy about certain like if anything I'm dedicating this video to all things filth tube, or filthy tube. Wait, which you get a lot of, which you get more of than you actually get good, clean, wholesome YouTube channels. Like whatever happened to them, right? Like it's like they're slowly going, and it's forgotten, and all you got, and all you got is sludge and slime, and on the top of it, ridiculously racist YouTube platforms. YouTube doesn't deserve that. We whatever, whatever, thank God. Thank God for black creators. If it weren't for them, YouTube would just fall down. Thank God. Thank God for black YouTube creators. Because if it weren't for them, YouTube would fall and split like the Twin Towers. We should not we should not get I'm trying to prepare you for there's a dark there is a dark future in YouTube starting, and we need and we need to go and we need to go on and we need to go on a strike right now. Not in a day from now, not in 5 minutes from now. We need to do a petition in saving YouTube the public humiliation of being canceled. We need picket signs. We need picket signs. We need petition signs. We need to go on strike and argue to get YouTube cleaned up. This is wrong, Gunn. This is wrong. Damn it. This is wrong. Having slim, having nothing but filth and all things toilet water in YouTube. Like, I mean, what the crap and what the crap and daisy is this? We don't want we don't want good. We don't want YouTube to be clean. We'd rather have it dirty and filthy and have everything in there that's just awful. Like, here's a thought. Like, here's a thought and idea. Like, here's a thought and an idea. Why not arrest YouTube for doing nothing but being innocent? You know, we got filth, we got toilet water, we got polluted air going straight into YouTube, and that is what YouTube is not telling you. You know, that's exactly what YouTube isn't telling you, is that we better look out for these things. That's exactly what YouTube is not telling you. Is that there's filth and grime in YouTube, and if we don't take a vacuum cleaner to it right now, and a face cloth and a mop and all things cleaning utensils to it, it's gonna filth and dirt are just gonna be climbing and climbing and climbing, and the next thing you know, there's gonna be no YouTube left. You know, that anywhere decent and clean. You know, I've had it right up to the nose nostrils. There is harmony in YouTube. It's just where do you find it? There are good, clean YouTube channels that do not waste your time on patheticness and stupidity and all things racist, like that show All in the Family is a lot more racist than half the racist topics are. Like, All in the Family is a show about racism. Sorry, it is about racist behaviors, and like, All in the Family has racist things in there. You know, that show Archie Bunker and that. Like, I mean, come on, like, there's certain places where racism is. There's certain platforms for racism, but don't put it into YouTube. Like all this racism stuff. Like I'd rather just watch All in the Family. You know, Archie Bunker. I'd rather watch that than half of the things that YouTube is allowing. You know, I'd rather watch All in the Family, Archie Bunker, instead of half the things that are in YouTube that shouldn't be in YouTube. Like, I mean, what's going on? Is everybody afraid to just be clean and like, is everybody afraid to be artistic? Like, is everybody afraid to be a good, clean artist in YouTube? Like, is everybody afraid of decent? Like, is everybody scared of decent behavior in YouTube? I mean, think about it. You can't go anywhere in YouTube, but you're not running into a brick wall of nothing but, like, dark language and you know, toilet humor and stuff like that, and channels that would even, you know, like, here's a big greasy thing on YouTube. people in the bathroom doing their business. Like apparently that's in YouTube. Well, I mean not that per se, but it's something like that. You know, like the next thing you know is the next thing you know it's gonna be, I don't know, hi YouTube. Like we don't need that stuff. It is dirty. It is what it is dirty. It is filthy. It is sinful. It is everything that YouTube isn't. And 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 we really need to and we really need to get together and clean up YouTube. You know, and the only way to do it is to do a YouTube strike and demand that these filth related YouTube channels get either banned or we're gonna have to stop. You know, like the only way to clean that YouTube up and put in and do actual art instead of being disgusting is by going on, like, you know, the only way we're going to clean up YouTube and mop it up to make it a, you know, like we're artists. We're YouTube oriented artists and we should not be, you know, exposed to raw shit. We shouldn't be exposed to raw bullshit channels that have everything in there that makes YouTube look dirty. We you know, we need to go on strike. You know, a let's get YouTube clean strike. You know, and like we can't do it. Like we cannot use YouTube for a dirt oriented platform. We are YouTube artists here, not children. We are artists in YouTube, not children. So I suggest we get on we go on strike and demand that these racist and full of shit channels that you know, like we're not children, like we're YouTube oriented artists in here. We are not children. All we need to do is get the mop and you know, and the like we're YouTube oriented artists. We are not children. We gotta go on strike and we gotta, like we're YouTube, we are YouTube oriented artists. We are not children. We need to go on strike now. If we ever, you know, like I'm sorry to repeat this, but we are not children. We are YouTube oriented artists. And we need to be we need to clean things up before YouTube gets any dirtier. So I suggest we go on strike and, you know, so I suggest, like, I'm sorry to repeat it, we are artists in YouTube. We are YouTube oriented artists, not children. So we need to go on strike and demand that we have a cleaner platform in YouTube and demand a cleaner platform in YouTube. You know, like if we were really sensitive about our YouTube oriented art, you know, and videos and stuff like that, we would be going on strike. A clean up YouTube strike and get things cleaned up in here. If we don't, the filth is going to rise and rise and rise, and then YouTube's just going to fall apart. You know? So, come on. Like, as I said before, we are not children. We are YouTube-oriented artists. So I suggest we go on strike, and demand that YouTube bans, and like I suggest that we go on a YouTube. So I suggest we go on strike and take out anything that YouTube doesn't. I suggest, like, we're not children here. We are YouTube artists, and if we were really sensitive and smart about what we are seeing in YouTube, we'd do something about it. So I suggest we go on strike and get things cleaned up in YouTube so it doesn't get any filthier.